Hey guys, little update for you. As some of you are aware, Officer Nick Biagioni from the Peru, Illinois Police Department, who got me started doing what I do because of his illegal detainment and his lies month before I began, has now decided to start targeting my children. His work email is nbiagioni@perupolice.org. He recently, at an Easter egg hunt in April, singled out my 5-year-old and decided to give all these other kids what ended up being a bag of donuts. I didn't know exactly what it was. I just knew it was a bag in the beginning. And he acted as if he was about to hand it to my 5-year-old and then decided not to and just walked away, right? And I was maybe 10 or so feet away, in fairly close proximity. But then on Thursday night, so on May 4th, he was the coach on the team that my daughter's softball team was playing against. And as my daughter became the first baseman in one of the innings, Biagioni didn't realize that, well, I assume he didn't realize that I had walked up behind him on the other side of the fence because my daughter was over there. You'll have to excuse my voice. It's still messed up a little bit sometimes from COVID, and so is my ear. Anywho, so Biagioni starts telling this first base runner to just run right into my daughter. He said it multiple times, at least 3 times that I heard, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I didn't film that part of it. You know why? Because I didn't think I didn't think he was going to do something while he's coaching, which I should have. I don't know. Anyway, I instantly yell at him about not trying to get my daughter hurt, and he denies ever saying it. He acts like I'm just crazy, right? And then their female coach, who was in the dugout with the other players, who was probably 20 feet to my left, so not anywhere near him, she also denies that he ever said that, right? When I clear as day heard it more than once, like I said. But then she tries to argue, well, if she's in the way, if she's on the baseline, murmur. And it's like, well, that may be true if she was on the baseline. But number one, she wasn't on no baseline. Number two, Nick denies ever saying it, so it had nothing to do with the game. He's just flat out lying about it. Because if that were the case, then he'd say, hey, man, your kid's in the freaking way. That's her own fault, But he didn't. He just completely denied it. So I eventually make a phone call to the Peru Police Chief, Sarah Raymond, and leave her a voicemail because this is an evening game, so she wasn't in. And a few minutes later, my daughter's up to bat, and it was the first time batting after this incident kind of began. And what do you know, after a few wild balls, it was kind of weird what this pitcher was doing then my daughter gets beamed right in the shoulder, of course, minutes after he tried to get her plowed down by the other girl. So, but by this time, I had began somewhat recording, and I had my phone up. Like, I didn't want to be obnoxious because I was at my kid's game. And did I really think it was going to go further? Probably not. But it did. And he got what he wanted, and I announced that right after. I was pissed. I was very upset. So, obviously, I said what I had to say. I called the Little League guy, Mark Rudy, who told me that my story, what I just said, sounded hard to believe, is what he said, and that he only had one side of it, which is true. He only had one side. But I then call and leave Sarah Raymond, the chief, another voicemail about this issue, which I did the next morning, speak with her about it. I also called the mayor, Ken Kowalski, about it, who encouraged me to call there again to the PD, which I did. So yeah, Nick Biagioni is a big piece of crap. He targets children. There was another incident before I ever started filming, which also involved my children, which was part of the reason I initially complained on him. But yeah, he is teaching his children and the kids he coaches to be little bullies just like he is. Anywho, here's a little bit I did capture from what happened that night. Nick Biagioni is going down. Definitely going down. There's a reason he's been a police officer for over 15 years, and he's never made any rank besides a regular officer. That's where he will remain until they eventually can him for his own wrongdoings. Hey guys, this guy standing right here is Officer Nick Biagioni from the Peru Police Department. My daughter's team is currently playing his team where he's coaching, and when he was standing in the same spot last inning, he told the little girl that was running to plow into my daughter like 3 different times. And then I called him out because he didn't know I was standing back here. Of course, he denies it, and then this woman right here threatens to have me thrown out of the game by the umpire because I calmly let him know that they weren't going to abuse my daughter with medical issues. Of course, I already called his PD and let him know how they're representing the Peru Police Department team. And then they told me, oh, well, you shouldn't be over here on our side, right? Because our batters are over here. When my daughter was the first baseman that he was trying to have injured. What a good coach and what a good dad, huh? Again, that's Nick Biagioni, the one that was in my live stream a few weeks ago, and the one who got me started doing what I do. Shame on you, Biagioni. Look at him, complete punk. And he completely denied it. He said multiple times very clearly, I couldn't believe it, that he told her to run into my daughter. Please don't try to injure the children anymore, Coach. See, I'm not making it up. You got it, Joe? One more. Oh, come on. Isn't that weird? The same kid he just said to her. Are you all right, honey? How ironic, Nick. The guy that said to hurt your sister. Come on. Couldn't get your batter to do it, so you got your pitcher to do it.